It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
You know, again, we've got a lot of young players playing more minutes than they're used to. 48 minutes is a long time. We're not in a situation where we can rely on anybody else. Like, we have to find it within ourselves in those moments. Like, we don't have one person that we just throw the ball to and go, okay, I'm going to go over here and rest for a minute while you do your thing. We need all 5 players participating and doing their jobs on every possession for us to create good shots.
That's Will Hardy talking about his team. The inability to do that in the fourth quarter has cost them games recently, multiple games, but at this point, does anyone care? Or would you prefer that they lose to the Spurs tonight? Because this looks like on paper, the best chance to win in the last 10 games. But, man, play for draft position.
I think management's philosophy has cost them games. I don't think there's any players who've cost them games.
Well, the management's decision to trade those players away at the deadline obviously made the team worse.
Well, it's a 2-year.
Yeah, it's happened twice at trade deadlines.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of banging on these guys? You like to bang on what's his face, H something or other. He's not good enough. These guys aren't good enough. What's the point of banging on them? It's a philosophical decision that has put them in this place. Not these players playing poorly. These players are doing what they're capable of doing to a large degree. Here or there, they get beat better than they are, I'm sure, obviously. Everybody can. But Hardy's got to say something. He's got it. The post-game and the pre-game interviews are figuratively just as long as the games for him. Because he's got to go out and say something. And it's all a bunch of, it's all just noise now.
Waiting to get at least a half new roster. Figures to be plenty of turnover in the offseason.
Oh, what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
And I don't. The thing about that is I don't think they expect different results with this roster.
Chris Dunn's out with a suspension tonight. Jordan Clarkson is out. Lauri Markkanen is questionable. Pre-game at 6, tip-off at 7 here on The Zone.
Hashtag NBA.
The Lakers beat the Bucks 128-124 in overtime. LeBron's not playing. The Bucks are up by 19 with 8 minutes to go, and they can't hold on. And Exhibit A for why everybody's picking the Celtics to come out of the East. Or the Celtics Exhibit A and this is Exhibit B. But either way, Bucks are supposed to be one of the top 2 teams in the East, and they mess up a game like this. And yes, Boston just blew a game to Atlanta, but Boston seems more reliable, don't they?
Are you comparing the two?
Yes. You can throw a third team in there if you want to pick somebody else to beat those teams in consecutive playoff series. I don't think there's anybody good enough to do that, but maybe I'll be surprised.
I mean, they outscored him by 19 points at the free throw line. What does LeBron James have anything to do with it? You're going to go to the line 32 times, and the other team's going to only go to the line 17? And you got Antetokounmpo, who hasn't made a clutch free throw in his life? He hasn't.
He was 1 for 6 at the free throw line last night. I mean, they could have gotten more. They could have sent him there more. He just would have missed him. So, yeah. And Lillard was 9 of 29 shooting the ball. Obviously a low percentage. Warriors beat the Heat, but the Heat were shorthanded, missing a bunch of guys. But at this point, the Warriors just need the wins, and they're trying to hold on to 10th place in the last spot in the play-in.
I hope they do.
The Mavericks look like they might miss the play-in. They might avoid it, stay in the top 6. They hammered the Sacramento Kings 132-96.
I don't know why you think the play-in is such a big deal. And people
don't want to be in it? Don't want to be a 7 or 8 seed if you come out of it?
Why?
Don't want to play the Denver Nuggets in the first round? Because you probably lose?
But that has nothing to do with being in the play-in.
Well, if you're not in the play-in, you'll be on the other side of the bracket probably. I guess they could climb to 5th and see him in the second round, but... Jimmer Fredette officially Paris-bound as a member of the Team USA 3-on-3 basketball Olympic team. Olympics for Jimmer. Will you watch 3-on-3 basketball in the Olympics?
If it's on and I'm sitting
Channel
here,
surfing.
I mean, so what's the time difference? I won't watch tape stuff.
Right, so I guess it depends on what they do. If they show it live, I mean, if it's night there, it'll be middle of the day here. You know, you might be home eating lunch.
Right, yeah.
And there's nothing on.
Right.
But they could tape it.
Right.
And if they
I'm sure they will.
If
Don't they do that? They play it early, live, and then they've been replaying it in primetime over here?
They can do that. They can also mix and match. Sometimes they show stuff live on cable, one of their cable channels like USA or something in the middle of the day, but then they tape it and run it live on NBC in prime time.
Yeah,
have
that's
taped
what I'm saying.
away on like the
And that
major
early
network.
stuff for that.
Isn't that what they always do?
And that early stuff, which I wouldn't think the gold medal or something I can see them tape delaying. But the early stuff might be during our show. We might have it on the TV
That's what I'm talking
right
about.
there. If he's playing in the afternoon, he's got a 1 or 2 o'clock game in Paris. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
Utah and VCU tonight, NIT quarterfinals, tip-off at the Huntsman Center, 7 o'clock. The Utes rack up one more home win, then they're off to Indianapolis for the NIT Final Four.
I would suspect they would. I don't know nothing about VCU, and I'm not going to learn anything about VCU.
Count on the Utes to do what they have done at home all year, with the exception of one bad week.
Yeah. Just looking around. Was it Cincinnati and Indiana State? Indiana State had a sold-out crowd. And I saw Brandon Carlson, last time he'll play in the Huntsman Center, asking for a packed house. I think they'll get it.
Sell it out. 15,000.
I don't know that they'll sell it out.
Okay.
But they sold out Indiana State, but I don't know what Indiana State seats. They got that pudgy white dude who's got the glasses and a big old cross tat. I think if you're real pale white, you can't go with the big tats.
Just screams, jumps off the page, so to speak, or off your arm
But I
or
mean,
your shoulder.
I know
whatever.
you don't like to acknowledge tats, which has always baffled me because the people who get the tats, they want you to acknowledge them. That's why they got them in the first place.
I'd spend my whole life acknowledging tats. Get the tats if you want.
You did?
XFL.
Your whole life?
Well, there's so
when
many
you were
people with
10?
tats now.
No, but you said your whole life. You didn't say now. Now you just contradicted yourself, buddy boy.
I grew up in a Navy town. There were a lot of tats. I don't find them fascinating. Anchors away!
I thought you
Everybody
grew
had
up
anchors.
inland.
Yeah, and the guy from the Navy, Bud Snively, he lived another 5 miles inland. Had a big old tat on his forearm. He was in our 4-H. He was the dad of one of the kids in our 4-H club. Yeah.
My stepfather-in-law was in the Navy,
Yep.
and he had 2 tats above each breast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What were they?
I never did figure it out.
Yeah.
But he had a big old gut, so the only time I saw it was when his shirt was off. So I was
You're looking away.
distracted. And then, of course, you know what you do in life? I mean, life is crazy. You spend your life trying to keep yourself in shape, and then when you get old, you get sick, and then you just whittle away anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of cruel.
Okay.
Robbie Avila's worth watching, though. That's who you're talking about from Indiana State.
That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Chamberlain. We got it. We get it.
Would they play them, or are they in their bracket?
No, they would. Well, they would play them in the championship.
Oh, the championship for the whole marbles, huh?
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
All right. Who we got to beat to get there?
VCU.
Yeah,
I know, but beyond that.
I thought they played Cincinnati and Indiana State winner in the semis, but
You did?
I did.
No, look at you. You two, all things to all people. I have no idea, nor did I look it up. But I want to see Cream.
Georgia beat Ohio State, so Georgia is in as well.
Georgia is in as well.
And it could be a flashback for longtime Ute fans because UNLV's playing Seton Hall. UNLV's got to win on the road in the quarters, but UNLV could be in the Final Four. Back to the Mountain West days. Kentucky AD Mitch Barnard announced on social media that John Calipari will return a 16th season as the Wildcats head coach. His buyout is $33 million, so he'll get one more year. Maybe more than that. Stay tuned. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
The workout JJ had, I've been to a lot of pro day workouts and watched quarterbacks throw. That was the best I've ever seen a quarterback do at a pro day. I leaving. And it was great to hear, incredible to hear. I know it's sincere. It was unsolicited. But there's numerous GMs, numerous head coaches, couldn't say enough good things. And it was, you could just see it, right? His pro day, that's literally, I've never seen a better one.
Jim Harbaugh and J.J. McCarthy's pro day, pumping up his guy. Numerous GMs. They have to be 32 max, you would think, but numerous.
Why couldn't it be from the CFL?
Because it's the NFL. Because he's awesome. As Jim Harbaugh just told us. NFL owners have approved a revamp of kickoff rules. It's going to look very different, football fans. Fewer high-speed collisions. This coming season, kickers will kick off from the 35-yard line, but the other 10 players, instead of lining up and running with a kicker towards the 35-yard line, they're going to set up at the receiving team's 40. And the other team will be lining up in a setup zone between the 30 and 35. So a 5 or 10-yard start for these collisions instead of running 20, 30, 40 yards before they collide into each other.
How's the onside kick going to work?
It's not. There'll be no surprise onside kicks.
You have to declare you're going to onside kick.
And then everybody gets to line up the old way. But you can't trick them. You actually have to onside it.
Nobody tricks them anyway.
Usually it is known. Once in a while, a coach will boldly...
Not in the NFL.
In the Super Bowl, the Saints pulled one off 10 years ago.
That's you being a nerd. The rest of us have no idea about that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember it in the least.
I remember it.
I know, you're a sports nerd, too.
I embrace that.
Anyone who remembers anything that happened in the Super Bowl is a sports nerd.
10 years ago?
Nerd.
One play?
What a nerd.
Yes, I stand by that. I had a neighbor, and he was in the Marines, and he lived 4 miles and 2.2 centimeters away, and he told me.
The NFL's moved the trade deadline back a week, too, so one more week as they lengthen the season. Why not? How do you feel about a doubleheader on Christmas Day on a Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm all for it, man.
They're going to give them one extra day of prep. They'll have them play on Saturday and Wednesday, so it'll be kind of like a Sunday to a Thursday.
Well, that won't be an extra day, though. On the other end, you get the day taken away. So how's that an extra day?
It's an extra day to recover from the previous game.
Not really.
Yeah, because you're playing on Saturday instead of Sunday.
Right, but you would be playing Sunday to Thursday. Mm-hmm. It's the same time before to after.
Yes, they're giving the same time that they let them prep for Thursday games.
Right, so it's not an extra day.
It's an extra day in reference to Wednesday to replicate the Sunday to Thursday, which the players hate, which was pretty clear.
Yeah, but they bargain all that stuff, right? You can't just do it. Right?
Well, apparently they're doing it today.
Right, but it's all bargained, isn't it?
I don't know that is.
You don't?
I don't think so.
Oh, my gosh. And whoever the NFLPA people are, they would go
berserk.
Better
bargain it next time. Well, maybe they will.
I'm all for them owning Christmas Day. Whatever day they want to own. They can own Friday nights. Make a big deal about high school football, but the people who go to high school football, they're still going to go to high school football.
I think the colleges are going over the air now on Friday night. Fox has announced that they're going to do it, but the NFL traded away Friday nights in 1960, whatever, when they...
Well, they don't need it.
Yeah, they don't need it.
Yeah, it's legitimately a federal law right now that they cannot do it.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Washington State AD Pat Chun is moving across the state. He's the Washington Huskies' new AD.
That's such a blow.
They used to be in the same conference, but now he's moving up in the world. From essentially a G5 school to a Big Ten school.
So it's the classic, you overlooked us, blah, blah, blah. It was wrong. Oh, I have an opportunity to go, so I go. It's like Utah back when they got in the Pac-12. Nobody gives what was now the G5 respect. You guys play G5 schedule. You're not that good. Once they cross the line.
Once you cross the line, switch all the arguments.
Yeah, and I had a big conversation with Jim Livengood, who went from Washington State to Arizona. And he said that never go within the conference like that. It was just awful. And obviously they'll be in different conferences, so it won't be the same. But you've got the rivalry going on there. And I just feel bad for Washington State and Oregon. I feel bad for the tennis players from Eastern Europe who now have to go to Piscataway. It just doesn't seem to make any sense, but money matters.
Washington State and Oregon State are going to have their games aired on the CW network this fall. So Pat Chun helped cut the TV deal before he left the league.
I thought they'll be on with Mountain West schedules.
But they're home, the Mountain West scheduled, but when they play at home, it'll be on the CW network. When they're on the road, then it's part of the Mountain West TV package.
Why didn't they just include them into when they're home, too?
My guess would be money.
They're not going to make less of it.
Somebody thought they'd get less. Well, maybe the other league thought they'd get less. I don't know how much they're getting for their CW deal.
And they're also rooting for all their fellow current conference mates to keep winning the NCAA tournament. They got $20 million in
well, it's only Arizona. But,
future revenue that's still rolling in.
Yeah, I won't be able to watch it because I'll be watching Live Golf on CW.
There you go.
And Jerry Springer.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Shohei Ohtani's representatives have declined to state which authorities they reported the alleged massive theft to involving Ohtani's former translator, Ipe Mazahura. None of the possible agencies who could be involved with it at the local, state, or federal level said they have any record, have said on the record if they're involved.
Well, the Japanese Bureau of Investigation, the JBI.
Partners with the FBI, working on trans-Pacific crime.
Wouldn't that be one? You know, today is the last day without baseball until the Monday preceding the All-Star game.
Away we go.
This is it.
There are no games today.
All quiet. Everyone's relocating for the openers tomorrow. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts believes Shohei Ohtani's split from his former translator will help Ohtani integrate more fully with the Dodger locker room. Mizuhara had served as a middleman, and Dave Roberts says, I would argue that it's going to help relationships internally because there's no longer a buffer. I've already seen it the last couple of days. I think Shohei's been even more engaging with his teammates, and I think there's only upside with that.
Yeah, and I watched the Freeway Series, and Mookie Betts booted 2 routine balls at short.
Well, that'll be a problem.
He's an 8-time Gold Glove winner in the outfield, and they're going to try to make him a shortstop.
Well, they had a problem already at that spot with Lux. So.
When's that going to ever work?
Never. The implied answer, never.
Makes me nervous. He's a longtime Dodger fan.
Tim Lacombe joins us at 8:30 this morning. We'll talk hoops with him, and it's a Win Tickets Wednesday. We got concert tickets giveaway in the 8 o'clock hour. The question of the day is next. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present